Hello loves, welcome back to the last Halloween tutorial. I'm so sad to say that, but here we are. I absolutely love Poison Ivy. She's been one of my favorite villains ever since I was around, I'd say 9 or 10 years old, and I've done this look once before, probably 3 years ago I think, and I was so excited to recreate it and do it again for you guys, and it turned out absolutely amazing. I loved it this time. We had so much fun with it, and Nash and Alicia both helped me go out. You know, me and Alicia did a photo shoot. Nash helped me with the costume, so I just can't wait to show it to you guys. So first we're going to start with putting on foundation. Of course, I already put on my primer, which was my e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer that you guys know that I love, and now we're going to go in with my NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop foundation and just making sure that the face is super covered. I obviously got a spray tan. Poison Ivy is very pale, I understand, but my Poison Ivy will not be, because I am not trying to be that pale. So I had to make sure that I could match my face to my body. Next, we're going to be going in with my Born to Glow contour, also by NYX. I love this contour, guys, and we're just going to take a brush and blend that out over the nose, and then the same brush that we use for foundation to blend it all over the face. By the way, guys, please ignore the band-aids on my hand. I had burnt my thumb with the glue gun making this costume, and I had broken a nail after I wore this costume out all night. So when I filmed it for you guys and redid it, it really hurt. So I had to cover it up. So, you know, girl things. Love that. Next, I'm going in with my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. This is my favorite concealer, guys. I know you guys have heard me say that before, but I just want to remind you. And I'm buffing that out with a beauty blender, and then taking that same brush that I used earlier to blend out my contour and kind of going back over that a little bit and making sure that there is some highlight on the lid so that I can use that as a base and a primer for the eyeshadow. Next, we're going to be going in with the Jaclyn Hill palette, guys. We're only going to be using 2 shades from this palette, which is this shimmery green shade and this matte green shade. This eye look isn't going to be too detailed or anything, you know, super hard, because we're going to cover it up, as you all will see here in a little bit. Taking the biggest blending brush I have, I am blending that all over the crease, making sure to take it up very high and out a little bit, but not really dragging it out, making it elongated like we usually would. Just trying to keep it around, you know, the eyelid area. And then I'm also bringing that down around the inner corner and deep onto the nose contour, because I really want this to drag down in the inner corner. And then I'm just going to take that shimmery green shade. Oh, the shade is literally so beautiful. I love everything about it. And I'm just going to put that all over the lid and make sure that I'm marrying that with the crease color as much as possible. I had taken that same matte green shade that we use in the crease, and I put it in the lower waterline and buffed it all underneath the eye. And then I actually took the same shimmer green shade that we use on the lid and buffed that underneath that as well, just to make it give a real smoky green look underneath, because, you know, this look is all about, you know, being seductive and smoldering. So I just want to make sure it was super thick underneath, more than you would when you wear your regular makeup, honestly, because this is still a Halloween look, y'all. Next is my favorite part of the entire look, and honestly what I think makes the entire look, you know, the look. These brows I got from Etsy. I will make sure to tag the same ones below. I absolutely love these brows. So I'm going to take this glue that I got from Walmart that I use actually in my Ice Queen look, and I just love this glue. It's super cheap, but it is very good for a very cheap adhesive. And I'm just putting it all on the inner part of the brow. I didn't want to put it all the way up to the top and, you know, make it like stick to my forehead or anything. So these are also made out of foam, and they will bend very well for you, and I really like that factor. So I'm just going to put a heavy amount of glue on them, and yes, I used a hairdryer the first time I wore them, but I'm just going to lay them down here and let them dry while I show you guys the rest of the makeup look before we put them on. Now I'm taking the Kylie Lip Kit in Boss Red, and guys, I had not used this until this costume, and this is literally the most beautiful, perfect red I've ever used. I really thought that I loved my Jeffree Star red, but no, this is absolutely beautiful. And what would Poison Ivy be without a flaming red lip to match her hair and her beautiful green costume? So now the glue is looking a little transparent, so that means that it's probably tacky enough for us to be able to go ahead and try to apply it. Normally it's not all going to be transparent, but when like little spots start to show, it means the glue's dried in most places, and then that's pretty tacky. So if you guys notice, I did not cover my brows for this with glue or anything. Honestly, I didn't think it was necessary, because I'm kind of gluing the brows actually underneath my brows so that there's not a lot of glue on top of my actual hairs. And it actually worked pretty well. There was just a little bit of them attached, but when I pulled it off later on in the night, it didn't rip out my brows or anything, because guys, it is strong, but it's not that strong. So it's perfect, honestly. So notice that I'm pressing down in the middle part of the brow first to make sure that it's just adhering to the skin, and then I'm slowly going down and pressing on the inner corner to make sure that it's even on my nose, and then pressing on the outer side. The trick here, guys, is to make sure that whenever you do the other brow is just following closely on the nose part to make sure that it's going to lay even. As soon as I put one of these brows on and I looked in the camera, I'm like, oh God, I just love this look so much. As soon as I see the brows with the red lip, I'm like, yes, Poison Ivy, give me these vibes. I'm loving it. Anyways, on to the next brow. And Lord help these spray tan hands, y'all. Like, I'm watching this footage and talking to you being like, wow, you couldn't have done anything about those knuckles or, maybe that wrist, but it's fine. It's fine. So I really was in love with these brows. They were like the perfect type of foam and the perfect size. And the ones that I got a few years ago were not just like this. These are actually much better. So I was very, very pleased with them. They also moved very well and just formed on top of my face exactly how I felt like they needed to for this costume. So don't worry, I will make sure to link the exact person that I got these through on Etsy below for you guys, so that hopefully you can order them too if you want to. They just were literally perfect, and I was a little concerned because, like I said, I think the last ones that I got were just not to my liking as much as these were. Now we're going to go in with some lashes. I wanted to pick some smaller lashes than I would typically use because the brows are so big, so there's already a very big dramatic part to this look. So I used the same lashes that came with the Kylie Sailor collection, the ones that I said I didn't really like because they weren't some Joe lashes, but honestly, here we are. They're coming in perfectly handy. So just going to apply some glue to those, let them dry a little bit, and add those. And lately, I've been adding mascara after I'm putting my lashes on, believe it or not. And I honestly like that way better than putting them on before. It makes it much simpler to put my lashes on. So from here on out, we will be adding mascara after applying lashes, just so you guys know. Next, I'm going in with my new favorite mascara currently, guys. This is the NYX Stacked Mascara. I really like how the bristles separate your lashes while applying the product, and I also like that when you pull it out of the tube, there isn't an excessive amount of product on the brush. So this is really a new favorite for me, y'all. I'm loving it. And now I'm going to go in with my Better Than Sex eyeliner, and I'm going to put it on the top of the eye just to give it a more seamless look on top of the lashes. Alright guys, we're done with the makeup, so let's apply this wig. I absolutely loved it. It all come together so well. And now I'm going to go in with this gold glitter that I got from Walmart, and I'm just spraying that all over my costume, my arms, the top of my shoulders, and all over my chest.
Okay, loves, that is a finished tutorial when it comes to the face and all of that. Now I'm going to hop over and show you guys how I made this gorgeous costume. Everything, as always, is linked below for you guys. Everything also came from Amazon except for this glitter spray and these eyebrows, but don't worry, they're also linked below. I love you guys so much, and let's go see the costume.
Okay guys, so we've got our tights here. We have our pile of ivy leaves. This doesn't look like a whole lot, but I promise you there's a lot of leaves on this. I've made this costume before, so I knew how much to order for the bodysuit. And then I have a pack of glue sticks and a hot glue gun, of course. This is your sleeves. I didn't have these the last time I made this costume, so I'm super excited. And then this is just a dark green bodysuit, and it's got like a sweetheart cut in it, which I thought would make it a little more, like sexy for the costume, honestly. And I didn't like the other bodysuits. I know that these are all 3 different greens here, but once this is covered in ivy leaves, the lighter part of the green that's in there will complement these. So you're not gonna see this, and it'll just all come together. I mean, it'll look good. For the most part, these are also gonna be covered. If not, I may have to dye them, but I think I'm just gonna leave them the way they are. It should turn out very good. I got all this from Amazon, guys, and as always, it is linked below. So let's get into making the costume. It's pretty simple. You also are gonna need some gold glitter. I do not have that right now. I'm gonna go get that later. And that's what you put on after you're finished with the entire costume, because if you look at her costume, the part of the ivy leaves, the top shimmer. So last time I did this, I sprayed the entire costume with the gold glitter in the shower. I just stood in the tub and it came out perfectly. Like, it just had such a good gold touch on the top of the leaves. So let's get into making it, y'all. You're just gonna put a little bit of glue on it, like not a lot at all, because if you have too much glue, then your material still isn't gonna stretch when you put the bodysuit on. And I'm kind of just doing like an overlapping feature, as y'all can see here. Just kind of covering the ends. And I'm gonna do another one to show you guys. This is much better if you have 2 people. Nash and Alicia have helped me on this costume, because guys, this is a lot of leaves. So, you see how I just kind of overlapped that one over the other? So basically the tops of your leaves are going to be able to be moved so that they'll be freely
but the bottom part is what you want to make sure is glued on there as good as possible. When you get to the ends here, over here, I'm just kind of like letting it hang off because I don't want to be able to see any of this material. And see how you can see the material here? We'll just go through. When you're done, you're just going to patch those up. They hold really good, as you can see. We put a pillow and a towel underneath the bodysuit so that it would be kind of stretched, so that when I put it on, like, it wouldn't be too tight on me and I would still have room to wiggle in and out of it, which was brilliant, which was Nash's idea. So that's kind of how you do it, guys. And then I would recommend starting at the top and just layering a line and then just filling the holes down in, kind of the same way that we did the technique on the flower wall. So this is pretty much how easy it is to do this part of the costume, and then I will show you guys how I did the gloves in a little bit. Okay, so we did the gloves the same way, except I faced the part down here down, because in the movie that's how her costume is when it goes around her pinky, and then these we face them up. And you guys, when you see it on, this will all be covered. Just make sure they kind of overlap each other on the sides there, so when you put it on, there's not any showing through. I was upset that these were lighter green, but now that I've seen this, like the lighter green and the leaves, it just kind of really complements each other. So I'm hoping it all will just look really good together. It's been an absolute pleasure doing Halloween with you guys. I can't wait to do it again next year. I really just want to keep doing this content, to be honest, because I've had so much fun, and it's just made me realize how much I love doing YouTube, just creating this content alone. So I love you guys, and I will see you all next year for more Halloween stuff. And next week we are going to be back to normal. Bye, babies.